Hey guys, today is a special day, a special video, last one of the year, last day of the year, and guess what? My wife, lovely Joanna,
Hi guys.
is joining us on the channel for the first time.
Camera shy.
Little camera shy, but excited, right?
A lot.
Excited?
Yes.
There you go. I love it. So we got a lot of books this Christmas. It was a fabulous Christmas. We got lots of presents. Our kids made it very special too. They got us a lot of gifts.
Yeah.
Both books and not just, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was the first year that the girls were more excited about giving
than receiving, definitely.
than receiving.
And
So
it was nice.
yeah, they really made it a special year. So we wanted to talk about some of these books. I got a lot of books from the girls. You got a lot of books from me.
Only books.
Well, no, not only.
No.
Oh my God, you're even wearing a necklace from me. Holy shit. Okay, it's okay. We gotta move. We gotta move right along. Should we start with your books or should I talk a little bit about the ones that I received first?
Maybe start with yours.
Let's start with mine. So first book, I think I got this one from Natalia. If I get the kids right, they probably won't watch this, so they will never know. But anyway, I think I got this one from Natalia, Absolution. This is a book that I wasn't sure. I didn't know that Jeff Vandermeer was writing. It's book 4. So it's no longer a trilogy. It used to be Southern Reach trilogy. Won't be able to say that anymore. This book is a prequel to that trilogy. It takes place, of course, Area X, this mysterious zone where things are changing, taking over our world. The zone is spreading. I really love the vibes. Jeff Vandermeer is an amazing author. He can really evoke certain emotions, feelings of dread, this mystery. He doesn't explain things, but you still get the feel of where things are headed, and the direction isn't good with the trilogy. Annihilation is book 1. I really liked it. Book 2 and 3, not as much, but I'm excited about the prequel because this is where it all started. And this book, gorgeous, right?
The cover is beautiful with the scale of the crocodile.
Lizard, crocodile, humanoid, you never know. Weird things happen in Area X. So I'm excited about this, but let's go a little faster because once I start talking, I could waste a lot of time. Pale View of the Hills is a book by Kazuo Ishiguro that I got from you. Thank you so much for this.
Yes,
What a thoughtful gift. Why did you give me this one?
I heard that you want to read all of the Ishiguro books, and you read a lot this year, and me too.
Yeah, you read 2 by Ishiguro.
Two. Clara and the Sun and the Remains of the Day.
And which one did you like more?
I guess Clara and the Sun a little bit, because of the main character, so innocent and just nice character.
Yeah, I think Clara and the Sun is an amazing story because it's super simple in some ways. You feel like it could be a young adult book, but at the same time, underneath there's this depth. Mm-hmm. And I think all Ishiguro books, he doesn't lay it out for you. He doesn't tell you what to think.
But they are heartbreaking in a way.
They are.
Say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Both books that you read are definitely heartbreaking.
Yes.
Remains of the Day for me was incredible. I love Clara and the Sun. It's such a book that I was reading it. I was like, oh, well, this is kind of light. I expected more from this literary genius.
But the ending was really
the ending, but also
wrenching.
Thinking about the book after I finished reading it,
it stays with you.
It definitely stays with you.
Yeah.
So Pale View of the Hills is one that I'm super excited. It's been a year of Ishiguro. I read so many of his books, including The Buried Giant, which I thought was great. Fantasy book, really good, a fantasy that I really enjoyed. Not my favorite, certainly. Never Let Me Go is another one. They're all good. I like them all for different reasons. Now, Imago, this one I got from Anya. I'm really excited about this one because I was going to read it anyway, but let's give Whitney from Secret Sauce some props. She told me I must read this book, so I read Dawn, and it was fantastic. Butler, an amazing author. Kindred is probably her best-known book by Dawn. Dawn, it really showcases her ability as a science fiction author. She was an interesting human, interesting story with Butler. If anybody wants to find out a little bit more, I recommend checking out Whitney's video on Butler. Incredible. I'll link it down below. Fantastic. And this is book 3. I had book 2. I didn't have book 3, so Anya got me book 3. I'm going to be reading 2 and 3 this year. Well, next year, 2025. What else did I get? I have the books mixed up a little bit because this one should not be here. I'll put this one aside. I got Tommyknockers from Natalia. One of the few pure science fiction books from Stephen King. You've read Stephen King?
Oh, just one.
But a good one.
Yeah.
The best one,
yeah.
maybe.
1122-63.
Did you like it?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Such a great book.
It's just the rest of them, it's usually horror, so it's not for me.
Yeah, and this is horror also, but it's also science fiction. So I'm gonna be reading this and also listening to it on audio. I think I'm getting into audio a little bit, so that's exciting. The Way of Eden by Philip Chase and Alan Walker. His narration really got me into. It was the first one that I actually enjoyed listening to on audio. Like you're also like your mind wanders when you're listening, right? You mentioned.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's for me, but I'm excited to try.
Yeah, because as part of your gifts, you're also getting an Audible subscription, so we'll see.
Yeah.
On your drives to work, I think you're gonna love it. It's just gotta be the right book, it's gotta be the right book.
And the right reader.
The right reader, yeah. I think they're mostly good, but some are definitely better than others. In some cases, it's just a read, and in other cases, it's a performance,
So I would love to hear it from an actor, actually.
Well, the cool thing with Audible, you can listen to snippets and kind of get an idea before you choose the book to read for, because you'll get like a credit per month. You could, of course, buy more if you want, but anyway, The Will of the Many. I got this book from Anya. She knew I wanted it. She got it for me. It's a big one. It's a beautiful book. An exciting book because I want to get into fantasy a little bit more. I want to balance my reading so it's not like 85% science fiction. I want to balance it out a little bit. James Islington, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, wrote this book I think like 6 months, maybe a year ago. It was really a lot of talk about it on BookTube. And I think it's the type of book that may appeal to me. If you have any comments on this book or any others, let me know, because we don't know that much about some of them. I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see if I like it. And last but not least, as far as my gifts, I got The Other Valley. Did I get this one from you, from Anya, from Natalia?
Not from me.
I'm not
I
even
think
sure.
you bought it yourself.
I did not buy this myself.
No?
No, I got it for Christmas.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Pay attention. There's a lot of Christmas gifts, I guess. So anyway, The Other Valley. I heard someone talk about it. I think it was Jimmy Nuts. He reviewed this book and he liked it. And it's an interesting book because it's science fiction, but also I think straddles the literary line. We have this town in The Other Valley. We have this town. Right next to the town is the same town, but 20 years into the future. And on the other side of the town, we have the same town, but 20 years in the past. Mm-hmm. What an intriguing idea for a story.
Cool. Right.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. A different take on time travel. Mm-hmm. I think there's some boundaries set up, and with permission, you can travel 20 years into the future or into the past. I don't know much about it. I just remember Jimmy Nuts mentioning the book, and it sounded good. It sounded like the type of book I'd like to read. So maybe it's going to be a good one for you also to consider.
Yeah, I'll wait till you read it and then.
Yeah, because it's like sci-fi, but light. It's not spaceships. It's not far in the future where some of these concepts are difficult to grasp. It's just
Yeah.
If it's well written. I think it's a debut for Scott Alexander Howard is the author. So we'll see. If you know anything about this book, if you've read it, let us know if it's a good one. Now let's talk about some of your books that you got.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
6 books from you.
Yeah.
Most of them I've never heard.
That's good.
But I know that you do always good research, so I'm excited to read them.
Yeah. So let's start. David Mitchell, 20th Anniversary Cloud Atlas. I personally never read this book. You have not read the book, obviously. That's why I got it for you. I think, again, this is basically science fiction, but it's a book that you'd find on the literary side in the library or in the bookstore. And it's an interesting book because of its structure. There are different stories that at first I think they don't even seem to connect, but they all do connect in amazing ways. And the structure also is each story, as we're reading, I think there are 5 or 6 stories. I think there are 6 stories. So the first 5 stories, you're only reading half of the story as it goes down. And then once you get to the last story, you get to read the full story. And then you go back to story number, 2,
I hope
3,
it
4.
won't be
And then
too confusing.
It can be. It's a book, I think, that requires attention. It's not a book that you want to read 2 pages, 3 pages at night. Each night, you got to do a bit of a deeper dive. But it's This book has a huge cult following. Lots of people love it. It's the type of book that is worth trying because if it works for you, it's really gonna work.
Yeah.
I think there's also a movie, and I think we started watching it many years ago, and we didn't like
I don't
it.
remember.
But I could be wrong about that. Anyway, signed edition.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is kind of, like it's for my wife, but I'm excited about it as well. One of those gifts, Donna Tartt. Do you want to say anything about this one? Do you know anything about it?
I'm excited about this one. I heard from one of the booktubers. It was on his top 10 of 2024 list. So, and it reminds me, the concept reminds me of Dead Poets Society, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a professor and a group of outcasts, I guess.
Do you like that general kind of
Yeah.
academia?
I like historical fiction and fiction, so I think it's gonna interest me. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. I'm excited. And if you like it, maybe it's a book that I would read at some point. Maybe. We'll see. I have not read any Donna Tartt. I know we actually have Golden Finch, but I don't know. We just have it.
I heard it's very good.
Yeah.
My friends
So if you like this
recommended
one,
it,
then that's another one that we already have. Prophet Song. Now, this I picked up also. I've heard things about it, but I picked it up because it was on your Goodreads.
Want to read? Yes, I heard about this book from Jake Edwards, the booktuber, and it's a dystopian book, but I think it's also tackles some of the issues that I like to read about. So
Family life.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those everyday
Yeah.
struggles.
I think that the like a strong woman mother is a main character.
Oh,
in
that's
this.
cool. I think it takes place in Dublin,
Yes, I think.
but
so.
in kind
yeah.
of a dystopian. So it is
Yeah,
science
it's
fiction
dys-
technically.
yeah.
So I might. So there's another one that I might read from at some point, if you like it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
If you recommend it. Dystopian novels, do they usually work for you? I know you read The Road, and that was a tough read.
Yes, the Road. Yeah, my first dystopian book was in 1984, Orwell, and I liked it.
When did you read that? Did you read it in Poland still, or no?
But back in Poland in high school, I
Oh,
guess.
really? Was it like one of the mandatory books to read?
Yes, it was on our
Poland?
list. Yes, we had to.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was actually when I think about it, it was a little weird because it was still the communist time in Poland. So
Was it in high school? No, it would have been already.
maybe not. Maybe it was just after.
Yeah.
That's
I'm pretty
because
sure this
yeah,
book would not have been.
wouldn't be.
You
Yeah,
would
on the
not be
list.
reading
Yes,
it
yeah,
during
that's
communist
true.
times.
That's true.
But it
That's
was
a good
just
point.
after, probably
Just
a few years
yes.
after.
So it was very
the,
interesting.
The Berlin Wall collapsed, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Speaking of dystopian, I'll just skip over a little bit because I have a book that I picked up. This isn't part of the Christmas haul, just the general book haul. We by Yevgeny Zamyatin, and this is one of the. Have you heard about this book at all?
No.
So this is one of the original dystopian novels. I love the cover also with the eye looking at the city, or from the very
That's cool. Really
thought-provoking cover. I love the cover. I think Yevgeny wrote this book in the 20s. So this book was major influence on Orwell's 1984, Huxley's Animal Farm. Definitely, yeah. It's one that I want to read as well. These books, of course, can be difficult. Introduction by Margaret Atwood. So that's cool.
I also read Handmaid's Tale.
And that's dystopian for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, and if
Oh,
you're a woman, that's even more difficult to read. One would think, because it's dystopian but oppressive towards women so much more than towards
Especially,
men, right? Very interesting. So yeah, so this is a good one as well. So hopefully you love this. We'll see. I hope so.
Me too.
Now this one I got you. This was an easy pick because I know you wanted to read this one.
Yes, Sally Rooney. I heard about her so much, and I watched the Normal People, the series movie, which I really liked. So I'm excited. I heard about her writing, and Intermezzo also has a very good reviews. So I'm very excited to read
And this
it.
is her latest, I think,
Yes,
right?
the last book. Yes.
Yeah, she's. She's one of these authors that is really talked about quite a bit, and another Irish author, another Irish female author that's making a splash. Claire Keegan was one that we both read
Oh yeah.
quite a bit from this year, and we really enjoyed, right?
Yes. both.
Foster
and small things like these.
You also read the 3 short stories that I have not read yet.
Yes.
Did you
and
like those?
I liked 2 of them. I think one
That's
was
not bad.
a little confusing for me. And we watched the movie, Small Things.
And the movie was amazing too.
Cillian or Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
But it was great, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor as well. And that movie was so faithful, I think, to the book. Not just in this happened and then this happened and then this, but in the feel.
Yeah,
That
very
it was
nuanced and not into your face, right?
Slow, quiet, but powerful,
Very
just like the book.
powerful.
The books by Claire Keegan they're small, but they're powerful. So that movie really reflected that. So I'm excited.
Heartwarming and heart-wrenching, I would say, her books.
I like that. We got a booktuber brewing.
No.
Watch out for Joanna's channel.
No.
So what happened to Nina? I don't know what happened to Nina.
I'm curious to find out.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
This book's just like...
You just chose it for me.
I chose
so-
it. I read some things about it. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be a different type of book. I think it's an Australian author, if I'm not mistaken, but it takes place in US. It's the type of book that I think will appeal to you. It may have some similarities to the book by one of your favorite, if not the favorite author. Who is your favorite author?
Kristin Hanna.
Kristin Hanna. So what is the book I'm thinking about? The one that we just watched the movie, This Ends With Us?
No, it was Colin Hoover.
Ah, that's Colin Hoover.
Yep. It's not Kristin Hanna.
And you don't really like Colin Hoover that much.
No.
But you like that book or the movie? Did you read the book also or just the movie?
No, I just watched the movie.
Okay.
I read Verity.
All right, so...
Yeah. You confused.
It's okay. But in any way, we watched the movie together.
Yes.
The movie was okay. And I think perhaps that type of abusive relationship also is taking place in this book, but in a very nuanced way. I read just a little bit to see if you would like it. I really liked the beginning. It was really good. So I hope you like it. I think our
Very
daughter
excited.
Anya may like this one as well.
Yes, I think so. She likes mystery.
Mystery. She really loved, oh gosh, what's the name of that book she really liked?
Silent Patient.
Silent Patient. So hopefully this is a good one. We shall see. Last but not least, from the books that I got you this year for Christmas, Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, Mr. Akbar. So you've heard something about this one?
Yes, also one of the booktubers that I follow recommended this one, so that's why it was on my want to read list.
Yeah, and you know what I just saw? He is going to have a talk at the Boulder Bookstore.
Oh, that's exciting. So I hope we can go.
I think we can go because I'm going to be in Boulder at that time, and I think it would be great to. Even if you don't read the book, it would be great to kind of hear the voice of the author talk about the book a little bit.
Maybe I'll manage to read at least some of the book.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome if you did. It would give you a whole different feel if you at least start the book. The book, when I was doing research, seemed like such an original book, a book that you don't usually think about reading, but may just become a favorite. One of those books. So I'm excited, and we're gonna meet the author. So that's great. So now I have some books also. I'm just gonna take a sip of coffee. I have some books that are not necessarily part of the Christmas haul, but just some books I quickly wanted to talk about that I'm excited about reading. Dan Simmons, this was a great year for me where I've read a lot of authors, a lot of books from the same author. Ishiguro actually obviously sends out. Of course, Claire Keegan is another one. But Dan Simmons also, because I read the first 3 books in the Hyperion Cantus. I just finished Endymion, which is book 3. And I'm reading currently Dan Simmons' The Terror, and I'm loving it. But Olympus is another book from Dan Simmons. This one is an interesting book, far into the future, and I'm excited to read Olympus at some point. Adulthood Brides, this is book 2 in that trilogy, that Dawn trilogy, the Lilith's Brood trilogy that we talked about. So I'm definitely going to be reading that. Here's one. This was on my list of shame. Canticle for Libowitz, one of the major books in science fiction that I have never read. I'm going to be reading this with Robin from Bookspin and Chris from Liminal Spaces. I think we're going to be reading it sometime in February. I'm really excited for this buddy read. I think it's the type of book that I think it's a thought-provoking book, and I think having others to kind of bounce ideas off of will be awesome. So I'm really excited about The Canticle for Libowitz by Miller. Orbital is a book that I picked up some time ago. I actually read part of it and I liked it, and then I didn't finish it because I was a little bit, I don't know if confused is the right word. I wasn't confused, but I thought it was science fiction. It isn't really. It kind of takes place right now or in near future. Humans on a space station orbiting Earth, looking down. There's feelings of loneliness. Obviously, environment plays a major part. Just looking down on Earth from that perch in orbit gives a unique perspective. And I think this book was really well written. It just didn't capture me in any way. I think the characters are really not important in a traditional sense. The book goes beyond that, and I definitely want to get back to it because I think it won Booker or one of the prizes.
No, the main one.
Yeah, but Booker, I'm saying, but there's other prizes. So I'm definitely going to read Samantha Harvey's Orbital at some point. Razor Blade Tears is a book by S.A. Cosby. Now, this guy is a revelation. I read his book, All the Sinners Bleed, recently, and I really liked it. Black sheriff in a small southern town, and everything that could go wrong with that scenario does go wrong. Fantastic book, a mystery, and I like to read at least one mystery per year, at least one. 5 Decembers last year was the only mystery I think that I read, and I really loved that one too. And this one was great. So when I ran into Razor Blade Tears by Cosby, I could not pass up the opportunity, and I picked it up. A couple more books very quickly that I'm excited about. Alistair Reynolds, one of my favorite authors in science fiction. House of Suns is one of my favorite books. And The Prefect is a book that I think Robin was talking about on his channel and really got me interested in reading because it is a book that takes place obviously in that Revelation world. The Revelation space was also great, and it takes place in that universe, but it's more of a mystery also. The Prefect, I think it's like kind of a, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes is the right word for it, but something like that. I don't know much about it, but I can't wait to read it. Terminal World is another one by Alistair Reynolds. So a couple of great books. Hopefully that will work for me. This one I've heard some mixed reviews on. It gets a little weird, some people felt, but I'm always open to authors that I've already enjoyed something, always willing to give them benefit of the doubt. So what are you reading now, Joanna?
Piranesi.
And what do you think about Piranesi?
I like it. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not a page turner for me, but it's like a slow read.
Okay.
And I'm curious how it ends because I have my suspicions.
Suspicions?
Suspicions, yes.
Yeah. I loved Piranesi when I read it a few years ago. I really thought it was amazing. The lyrical prose, the open book that Piranesi is as a person, this amazing,
a little naive,
but so open, so good,
so innocent,
and I really enjoyed it. There was something about this book that was so unique that I couldn't say, oh, this is like something else that I wrote. It felt very original.
Very unique, yeah.
In its approach. Great book. One that I forgot about because it was snuck over here. Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I just picked this up because it was very cheap. A used hardcover by Stephen King, and I love Stephen King. So at some point I will want to read this one, but it's not a priority right now for me. Unless you think it should be. If you're a fan of A Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, let us know in the comments down below. So it's the end of the year. It was a good reading year for you?
Yes, it was the best, thanks to you. You encouraged me to read more. So I read 26 books and Piranesi is 27th.
Excellent. So if you had to choose one book as maybe one that stands out, putting you on a spot, or a couple of books, what did you?
Definitely Claire Keegan that we mentioned before, but also The Women of Christine Hanna.
The Women by Christine Hanna.
Yes. I like that she very often places her stories in a historical period that I don't know much about, or that she tackles issues that I've never heard about. So, and this one was about women in Vietnam War.
Serving during Vietnam.
Serving in Vietnam War as nurses.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think also I remember you were telling me some time ago about Four Winds right by her, which was also in a period that you didn't know much about. Depression.
Drought in
Drought.
in 30s in the U.S. in southern states. Yeah, so I've never heard also about that.
And then the exodus to California, right? Like that whole
yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. So 27 books basically this year. That's pretty good. Do you have any goals for next year that you wanna?
25 or 30, depending, because I.
Well, you're not gonna read less. I won't let you read less.
Yeah.
Especially like once you start your YouTube channel.
No, I won't. Don't worry. But yeah, I'm hoping. Although on my list there are a lot of thick books, so I'm not sure if I can do it. Like 30, but I'll try.
Do you have one that you're specifically super excited about reading? Is there one?
No, I have a lot of them. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So thank you for doing this video with me.
It was stressful.
It was not stressful. You did not look stressed at all. But I really appreciate the fact that you decided to go ahead and give it a shot. It was awesome having you. So thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. So this is going to be the last video of the year. Obviously, I'm not sure when you're watching it, but it doesn't matter. We just want to wish you a fabulous 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.